Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to Rise Up After Dark. Today is Wednesday, August 12th, and we are back for another episode of BYOB DYOR, letting our hair down to talk a little schmack about the crypto industry with our expert guests and friends. I'm Evan, he's Will, he's Alex, and tonight we are joined by our good friend, Mr. Jim Bozzani from Caleb & Brown for the very first time on Rise Up After Dark. Jim, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Doing very well. Thanks for having me on, guys. Very excited to be here and looking forward to chatting all things crypto.
Love it. Oh, Jim. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You know, we like to play a little game here.
Shit-eating grin.
On Rise Up After Dark. Every time you hear that sound, it means somebody speaking or somebody we're speaking about has received a point. Lots of points already tonight. I wonder who's getting these points. And every time you hear this sound, somebody speaking or somebody we are speaking about has lost a point. Thanks for taking that one for the team, Alex. And at the end of the night, somebody
that felt personal.
An indeterminate amount of points is going to win a fabulous canned applause, maybe a little apparel and bragging rights until next week. Usually, it's a fair game, and always the best player.
It is not. Don't you lie to the man. He just got here. Listen,
Evan, look this man in the eyes. Who's the winner? Who's the winner usually?
Well,
usually, Alex, who's the winner? Who's the winner, Alex? Usually.
Evan's playing the long game here, all right? He's doing a lot of rigging. He's the one who dishes out the points more often than not. He conveniently sometimes doesn't hear, oh, Alex, I didn't hear you give a ding. Oh, that's too bad. I guess I'll just take the point then. And today, he's coming fresh off of a crushing defeat to me during the Euphoria tap battle. And
this is a gross misrepresentation of the facts.
I expect that he's hanging on to a little bit of resentment, as you can tell by the vitriol in his voice as he gave me that it was clearly meant to be exemplary.
It was personal. That was an attack.
I can be the bigger man.
Time now.
I can be the bigger man, and I do want to congratulate Alex.
Short joke, you asshole.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I do want to congratulate you. You did play a great game earlier today. Thank you to the Euphoria team for hosting us. You got to check out the stream. Doug put on an afro. Alex put on a clinic, and it really was a lot of fun. Even if I did get beat, I'm not salty about it at all.
Alex, do you think you're better at tap trading, or do you think you're better at your recent foray into perps trading?
Oh, tap. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah, that's crazy.
The P&L on the tap is way better than than everything else. The other one is I think too much. There's no, dude, honestly, that's my weakness. Like anytime I get in my own head and I start to overthink things, if I'm not just like vibing, if there's too much data, that's when I screw everything up. I just have to feel it, you know?
Yeah, I got
you. Gotta feel it. But I think your P&L is probably best on the gotcha machine. Am I right? In terms of like gamblified stuff.
He did win some interesting awards recently.
Yeah. No, that's a really interesting one. Definitely not. It's definitely not positive. But I guess it kind of depends on how I would characterize positive, because I got some cards that like I underpaid for compared to the purchase price, and they're in my shelf over there now. So, it's,
Jim, have you kept up to speed with the gotcha machines, the collector crypts of the world, the courtyards, the graded?
Is Caleb and Brown about to start dropping Pokemon stuff?
Yeah. In our office, it's like a religion here. We have people that have significant holdings in Pokemon assets. I've used Courtyard before in the past. It's unbelievable how much volume has gone into that, but the interest it kind of feels like we're at an all-time high with it. So yeah, I don't think it's something we'll necessarily be doing at Caleb and Brown, but everyone in this business, we have pack openings on Friday evenings.
Yes.
It's a thing here for sure.
Dude, that's awesome.
I love that.
I dig office pack ripping time. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be more degen than that. It used to be a lot of like crypto casinos back in the day when the business was first getting started. I think I prefer more of the pack opening stuff. It's a bit more wholesome in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to hear more of your opinions about just some of the cool consumer crypto stuff, the market, and I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourself a little more thoroughly. Carol backstage here says, "Hey, does your poor guest have any idea what you're talking about? Thank you for being inclusive, Carol. And in the spirit of inclusivity, let me remind you that whether you are listening now or in the future, we hope your candles are green. And if you wish to get in touch with us to leave a question, a comment, a good joke, a word of wisdom, all you got to do is get your thumbs at the ready, leave it below wherever you are, whenever you listen, or visit us where the comments have no character limits, where the screens are bigger, where the friends are better, and everything is good. It's community.rumshq.com. The only thing missing is you. It's a great place to ask a crypto question and go deeper with us. All our friends are there. The only thing missing is you. Jim,
I like that commercial.
Do you really? Thank you.
That was nice. It just felt good.
It did feel good. The community feels good. I wanted a commercial that felt good. Jim, do you want to take a second and just say hi and introduce yourself to the folks who are seeing you for the first time?
Yeah, sure. Hello to everyone listening in. My name's Jim Bozzani. As was mentioned at the start, I work at Caleb & Brown. Have been in the crypto space since 2017, so very passionate about the space. My one's a bit more of a unique one, although I feel like everyone sort of finds crypto in their own sort of weird way. But yeah, what can I say? I currently live in Australia, so as you can tell, probably from my accent, but have been around the US a number of times, and hopefully I'm actually looking to move to the US later this year. But yeah, I'm currently based out of our Melbourne office here, but we also have an office presence in Fort Lauderdale as well. So yeah, there's a little bit about me. Happy to go into more detail if we want though.
Would you be moving to Fort Lauderdale, or are you looking at somewhere else?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, because that's where we have brokerage teams both here and there. So would mostly work out of that office, but we have partners and clients all around the US. So I'd probably be traveling around and meeting them face to face and exploring a bit of the US as well. I'd probably need to get all of your tips on where the best places would be to go. So
well, you won't be too far away from me. So let us know if that shapes up.
Definitely.
Yep. Fort Lauderdale.
Have you been to the States before?
Yeah, I've actually been a few times. I've gone through with work a number of times. So we've hosted XRP Vegas a few times. I've been to Vegas the last couple of years, but I've been with family as well. So I've traveled around both sort of West and East Coast, but probably haven't done any of really the central part of America, and probably have only really been to like the major cities. I'm kind of keen to get to like the real sort of rural areas and really get like a feel for the country. But yeah, I've been a few times. It's always been good fun.
Well, in the center of the
have
country,
you been to Australia is the real question.
No, I haven't. The furthest out there I've been is Bali, but Australia and New Zealand are on the list of next islands to go to.
Yeah. Well, Evan and I have a really good friend who lives in Melbourne, and it's been on the list to get out there at some point. And just, that's about the farthest I could go from where I am. I think I'd have to. Actually, now that I say that, I'm curious, like what technically is the farthest. I
think that is actually the furthest you could
possibly
go.
Can you GPT it? Fact check yourself.
I'm gonna look right now. Yeah, because now I've piqued my interest here.
From Tybee Island, where is the geographically farthest place you could possibly travel to?
And we've got invitations in the comments. Fishing at Crypto says you should come to South Dakota. We have a good friend in North Dakota, and certainly we could take you everywhere in between. Andy says, can't believe you three have never been to Australia. It's kind of far away, but I would love to go. I gave a ding to Australia because we do love it, and I'm going to give a ding to good friend Mihir because I miss you, Mihir.
Yep.
I miss you, man.
Good dude.
What do you find, Alex? What's the farthest point from you?
It's thinking.
It must be really far. It had to walk there and measure. Do you want to just give a quick, while Alex's computer is thinking, pitch about what kind of services Caleb & Brown provides? I feel like a lot of people will be familiar, but in case they're not, what's the pitch?
Yeah, so look, the pitch is that we're a cryptocurrency brokerage, which is very different service quality to what you get with an exchange. So with Caleb and Brown, every client is provided with their own dedicated broker. That broker is there to assist you throughout your entire crypto journey. So we help with clients get educated about their particular portfolios. We have brokers that are on the phone every day to clients to help them get set up for the future, make sure that they're understanding of what this market is, because it is a very, as I know everyone on this call is aware, it's a very volatile asset class. Things are happening every single day. And so we really help our clients make the most informed investment decisions they can. But they can do everything that you can do on exchange with us. So you can buy, sell, swap, and custody with Caleb and Brown. But the key difference is that unlike an exchange, which is a pretty transactional relationship, with us, you'll always have someone you can speak to. For a lot of people, that's a really big value add, especially high net worth individuals. They want to speak to a dedicated broker, someone who's an expert in their field before making really large investment decisions. So that's a little bit about what we do, but obviously, how we do liquidity, how we do custody, all of those things are very unique and different. But the main key thing is that it's a personalized white glove service that you really won't get anywhere else.
Yeah, and we found Caleb and Brown for the first time several years ago. You started making a more intentional push to reach out to investors outside of Australia, meeting the market need. I was impressed by the knowledge of the team. I was impressed by the professionalism. And I will say that now that we have been through it, we thought, it'd be great to get an affiliate link so that we could onboard people. You'd know they came from Rise Up. People could help the show at no additional cost. They'd love to do that. We appreciate it for them. And I have to say, I am quite impressed. Your KYC process is thorough. I believe that everybody you are working with is well vetted.
It's exactly who they say they
sometimes
are.
Sometimes a little too thorough for the commercial side of the business. But look, it's one of those things, as you guys can probably imagine, you have a lot of, when you start a crypto business, you have a lot of bad actors that try and use you as a funnel to money launder, or we have things called money mules where people coach other people to create accounts with us to then buy their assets for them and then essentially wash it on the back end. So we have a lot of AML requirements, KYC requirements that we need to abide by. So yeah, that's often at times where sometimes the KYC process is almost too thorough. But yeah, it's just something that we need to do, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
It is fortunate. I'm jesting because it is, kind of a pain in the butt, but it's good. I think there's a real need for people who don't feel confident or comfortable with self-custody, but want the 100%. Same benefits and security of something like Coinbase with a little more personal service. How do you deliver personal service to people? Can you explain sort of the concierge model that you have?
Yeah. So look, as soon as a client signs up, they're given a call or an email from their broker. That broker gets to build a relationship with that client. And so as you guys can imagine, we'll have someone that is completely new to crypto that needs their hand held through what's a wallet, what are the main assets, how do I invest, all the way to someone that is a crypto native individual. Those two differences, like those clients will have completely different things that they're trying to get out of our service. So the first thing is to get an understanding of what does this client actually need? What are their goals and objectives when it comes to crypto? Are they looking to put a little bit of their net worth in? Are they looking to put a lot in? And so then from there, we'll really help them with things like, trading strategies. A lot of clients don't have profit-taking strategies. So having a plan in place is really important. Whether you execute on it is another thing altogether, right? But we are really there to help support people through what their portfolio looks like. As you can imagine, we have some people that come to us that are heavy on like meme coins and altcoins, which can be good in great parts of the market. But right now, if you have an all meme coin portfolio, your portfolio is looking pretty rough, right? So we just help our clients through all of that. And then as you rightfully said, we have a lot of people that need general support help. So they may be doing a lot with Caleb and Brown, but they would have their other crypto dealings outside of Caleb and Brown. And so they're constantly asking their broker, hey, I've heard of this platform. The rates that I might be getting seem too good to be true. Can you have a look into this for me? And so we'll do even things like that where we'll make sure that clients are well looked after. Unfortunately, scams are becoming more and more prevalent and they're becoming more sophisticated. And so a lot of it is just having someone that you can always call about anything that's happening in crypto as well.
Yeah, it's a good program. There are some drawbacks, I will say, or not drawbacks, but compromises. with any crypto solution. And I will say, from my familiarity, just to save you some time, I think probably, if I had to guess, the thing I hear the most is, why don't you have yield? When are you getting yield? When can I stake my assets with you? And also, it's still difficult to offer services to clients in every part of the world. I understand some people, for example, in maybe, is it the UK and like New York, may have trouble. Do you care to comment? You know, who's the ideal client, or where do they live, kind of thing?
Yeah, so look, the UK is a recent change, actually. We've reopened again to the UK, but as you rightfully mentioned, look, we're trying to make this service available to as many people as possible, because we genuinely think we're helping safely onboard people into crypto. But as you rightfully mentioned, look, some jurisdictions and states, every state in the US has different requirements on how to legally operate there. Some are incredibly restrictive, like New York, and expensive. And some other jurisdictions like MICA in Europe, as an example, the requirements are very different from a state by state and country by country basis. So we're trying our best, but ultimately it also needs to come down to, is it from a business perspective, does it make sense for our brokers to be on calls with people in Europe versus the US when most of our clients are based in the US? That's always something we need to factor in. And as you said, like from the functionality side of what we offer, staking and yield generation is a great way to allow clients to do more with their crypto, but there are also additional risks with that as well, right? And so we've kind of over-indexed for providing a custody solution which really protects assets. We don't really want that to come at the compromise of maybe offering yield. And then what kind of yield, right? Because like we have people that are big into XRP. Well, that's not a natively staked asset. And so to earn yield on that, it inquires a lot more work, and it usually requires a lot more risk for the client. So yeah, we're looking to expand our product offerings, but it is something that doesn't happen overnight. And we're a bit of a business that does take a lot of due diligence in any product that we decide to offer for our clients.
Sure. I noticed that you do have a strong connection with the XRP community for whatever reason, not necessarily, I don't think intentionally, but I know a lot of people that choose to custody XRP with you. And you mentioned you've supported their events before. So, you know, it's an equal opportunity thing. I think we get some pushback sometimes for trying to speak truth to like the hype around that particular asset. And because we see that literacy tends to be lower in people who are targeted, frankly, by folks who are just selling them a hypey story. So I appreciate you guys for thinking about that group of people. And I'm curious, do you have like minimums to invest with Caleb and Brown? Minimums, I know, for like transferring things like that. Tell us a little about accounts and balances and that kind of thing.
Yeah, look, we've tried to make this accessible to all, as I mentioned. So we do have a minimum trade size, but it's 500 USD, which is pretty reasonable. But outside of that, it's completely free to make an account. There's no minimums on transferring stuff over. So if you only have, say, a couple $100 in crypto, you're wanting to move that over, there's no issues with that at all. So the big thing for us is like allowing people to try the service, speak to a broker, not having to deploy any capital before any of that experience starts. And so you get the option to see if it's a service that you actually would use and resonates with you before deciding to do anything.
And that's a great strategy. Like, buy on Coinbase, buy on Kraken, buy on Binance, send it to Caleb and Brown. If you're sketched out by cold storage, you don't feel confident after the cold card incident, you feel like they're difficult to use, you want somebody you can call to talk to that's going to give you that same kind of institutional grade custody. It's tough to get a hold of somebody at Coinbase, no shade, who you know personally. And not everybody has like an inside guy. So I think the service is killer. And if people want to try it, then you can head to the Rise Up morning show, Rise Up After Dark, Rums HQ. Gosh, I got to find a succincter way to say that. rumshq.com. And then go to the exclusive tools and deals tab. And at that tab, you will find a quick and easy link to get connected with Caleb and Brown, support the show, or just remember the link I'm going to show on screen. It's going in the bio too. For podcast land, it's going to be in the description wherever you are, whenever you listen. Here comes the screen share, but don't try to screenshot that. Just come to the website, get the link, and then they'll be happy to hear from you. You guys have a quick and easy onboarding experience where people can book a call or they can read your research reports. I do want to give you your flowers where they're due. I think it's simple. I think it's personal, and we need more of that in crypto. So thank you guys.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's simple is important, especially for new people to crypto.
Yeah, and Jim, I wanted to ask you, when you have new people who come to you, I imagine also of higher net worth, but just because higher net worth doesn't necessarily mean they're more educated about crypto, but sometimes it can, sometimes it doesn't. I'm curious what that first if there's like a normal average conversation and what that first conversation is like. I'd imagine it's similar to the ones that Alex and Evan and I have. And if they come to you and say, is it, hey, I've heard about crypto, I don't really know anything about it, I'm kind of sketched out by it, but if there's something here, tell me. Or is it, hey, I have 72 altcoins, help, please help, please help.
Or both.
Or both.
It's honestly, it's actually both. Yeah. As you can imagine, we work with, tens of thousands of clients. So you'd be shocked at just some of the things that have come through our desk over the years. But yeah, look, you're right in the sense that some people come to us, they're very sophisticated, they're super smart, they've made a lot of money in, say, to the traditional finance world, but they're completely they have no idea about crypto. They've heard about it. The common thing is they often have heard about it and how much rate of return there's been on, say, Bitcoin, which is obviously true. And so they understand that it's an opportunity, but they have no idea how to get started. And so a lot of the time, those first conversations are I think sometimes there's a bit of a misrepresentation on how easy it is to, I guess, invest and do well in this space and the nature of the length of investment. And so often at times it's dispelling some of those inaccuracies. But then it's working with the client in terms of if they haven't owned any crypto before, okay, what's the best way to probably get started? What are some of the assets you probably want to get exposure to? For example, I think Bitcoin, in my opinion, is still a very core asset to have in any portfolio. But again, that's part of the education that we provide. It is really getting an understanding of what their risk profile is as well. Are you looking to invest in the next year? Is this something you view as a 10-year plus asset class? All of those things matter in terms of how we assist. But yeah, there's no doubt that we have clients that have like 100 different altcoins. And it's like, okay, we probably need to maybe concentrate some of this portfolio. The cryptocurrency space, at least today, is not like having a diversified share portfolio. A lot of this stuff is still very correlated to some of the top assets. And so you're not really going to get the same diversification benefits that you would, say, as an equity investor, because you've got exposure to different sectors and asset classes. So yeah, it's a broad spectrum of questions for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, I figured that's the case with us as well. It's always a nice feeling when you can help someone finally get like a grip on a crypto portfolio. I also love it because, I was at one of my brother's, I guess kind of like a pre-wedding-esque party. They're doing a destination wedding, so not all the family can make it. So it was kind of like a celebration for them, not really an engagement party, something in between. Anyway, I'm there, and I have 3 uncles come up to me and goes, Will, you're into all this crypto stuff, and I just feel like it's all shit.
The uncles.
I'm like, hey, you're pretty right. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're the crossed arms go to arms down. Oh, well then why are you so interested in it? I'm like, because I think this stuff's really cool. And they're like, oh, stable coins. Oh, Ethereum. Oh, you can build stuff. Oh, all right. And then they just walk away and they're like, oh, there's something there. I'm like, yeah, but you're not wrong. Your gut was right. Most of the space is just Ponzi schemes and scams. They're okay.
Yeah.
Or they hear you can build stuff and they're like, huh, okay. What do you think about it, VET? Yeah. What do you think about XRP?
Oh no, my uncle
were
so you can build World Liberty Financial, and I was like, push that to the side for right
technically.
Now. Technically,
I heard about this coin for the U.S. oil reserve, and I have to say, it is always the uncles, and I have to say,
will it qualify me for
it's always the uncles.
Always the uncles.
And it's always either at Christmas time as well or weddings. It's one of the two.
Exactly.
And depending on the time of cycle, it's either how do I get invested? How do I get started? Or I told you it was going to zero, and it's none of the in between.
Seriously.
Yeah. I started them off easy. I'm like, hey, this is what Bitcoin's all about. You're gonna want to take a look at Ethereum and Solana, but something I think you can really more easily wrap your head around first is take a look at Circle, the issuer of the USDC stablecoin, and wrap your head around this first. And they can grab on the stable coins and they go, okay, yeah. I got that. I'm like, yeah. And several of them are business owners. I'm like, well, just imagine if you didn't pay the credit card fee because you stablecoin payments, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. I got that. I'm like, yeah. So, That's how I typically
it's always a good way to
handle
start
conversations.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I love it. Well, yeah, it's exactly the same. And as you guys are in it, same with me when I work in it, I always find as well when you're at sort of parties or social events, people hear about that you're in crypto and they come over and want a full conversation about it. It's like, I'd rather not talk about this right now. Like I talk about this and focused on it all the time.
Oh, no.
I'm like, how much time do you have?
I'm like,
sit down.
All right, baby.
Well, honestly, it's a challenge.
I was about to ask you how the weather was, so this is great.
Depending on where I've had people ask me where you're going to have a very different conversation with this person versus that person. Like, more recently, Christina's grandfather was asking me like, what do you do again? And we kind of talked about it a little bit. And I kind of kept it intentionally vague. So I was like, he doesn't really care. We don't want to get into this right now. He's got other things to worry about. And then we the whole family poured it into a conversation about how frustrated they were with the bank right now because they were trying to dish out. He was trying to give some money to the grandkids and needed to wait for this check. And then they didn't have the right check and then had to go back. And then it was the weekend. So he couldn't do it. And I was like, hey, okay, back. When you ask me what I do, it's that. It's that sucks and there's a better way. And so that's what we work on. He was like, oh, okay, got it. And that was it.
Yeah. I say to people, we don't have time for this full conversation right now, but I have lots of resources to help you understand this. All you need to know is that's exactly it. I say, listen, there's a lot of information on the internet. Not all of it is helpful. Most of it is trying to sell you something, and it is a scam. It is a scheme. But all you need to know is that crypto is going to be so much more than currency, the way your phone does so much more than calls, and understanding it that way is what will unlock your potential to, use it well. If you have questions about it, use this link. I put up the bat signal in the sky, and then I'm like, I'll call you later. And then when they're really ready, we have office hours every week in our community. Will and Alex and I, we all do them. A lot of friends get together on a sort of a smaller version of the show, a closed video call. And usually that's where the real education begins. Our friend Delia, who's new to the community, and like many of our friends, she's over 50 and she's quite sharp. She's an experienced investor, but she's trying to wrap her head around crypto for the first time. And so we'll take it 30 or 45 minutes at a time. Everything from how do you tell the difference between a token that is effectively designed to capture value that the business it's attached to might produce, to how do you read a chart, to how do you track this stuff? What makes it valuable if it doesn't physically exist? I mean, there's so many requisite questions that I really struggle to get the bumper sticker answer. And so to have you guys there again, I don't know, there are not a lot of people. That's why I work with Will and Alex. That's why we have the community. Everybody in that community or everybody here on the show is somebody I could pass my uncle off to and trust that he wasn't going to get sold some junky token,
Yeah. And I think it's always hard to remember because I'm not sure how long you guys have been in crypto, but I'm sure a really long time as well. You kind of forget what it was first like when you first joined and, all those things that you mentioned, Evan, but even things like the tokenomics of an asset, right? Can be very complex and convoluting for someone that has never been in this space before. So you sometimes got to take a step back and think about, oh yeah, I remember when I first joined and I had no idea what this meant or that meant. There's a lot to learn. And I think that's probably one of the things that I think as an industry we could get better at is having it be more simple to use an application where people can actually come in and actually understand a bit more. The user interface is more friendly for people that are beginners. And so, yeah, I totally agree. I think we've got a ways to go there, but what you guys are doing is great in terms of educating people and helping them get started in crypto. So, yeah, keep up the great work.
We all appreciate that. I would say in the past year, we've seen, at least I've seen and felt in the past, 9-10 months or so, that there's some really user or consumer friendly products that are coming out. It's how do I sign up for this? Oh, connect with your Gmail. Oh, cool. Well, what is this? Oh, you click this button, click that button, away you go. Oh, that's really nice. That's really easy. And now I'm a part of this, a Pokemon gacha game. Oh, now I'm a part of this. I've signed up for a perps dex, but I don't even know it's decentralized. I've signed up for
a debit card that lets you spend your crypto.
A debit card lets you spend your crypto.
I was going to say, how many gambling things is Will about to mention?
Yeah.
I was also about to say, like,
Polymarket,
you can also go do like Web3 gaming experiences on Abstract, which I still do to this day. There are a lot more like really friendly user interfaces that are coming out. And so I've noticed that over the past week. The biggest jump for me was like not necessarily needing a wallet. It's like, put in your Gmail. Here you go. The wallet's then spun up.
Shout out Privy.
Yeah, for sure. And like that to me was the biggest, hey, let's tuck the whole blockchain thing behind and just try to deliver that Web 2 customer experience and user experience. And once I started seeing that pop up, I was like, okay, all right, we're getting places. We're getting there. So that's been really nice to see over the past year. But no, we were all the class of 2017. So you were 2016?
Thank you.
Yeah, you were 2016. Yeah, so I've paid over $200 in gas to mint an NFT. I think we all have
done all that.
That's it.
All those days. I think the most I've ever paid was about like $280 to mint an NFT. I think that was it.
I think I might have paid more, honestly, but
I paid, the other side mint, which was like the Bored Ape,
the worst
metaverse
one ever.
You mean the ones that I still own?
Thousands in gas.
Yeah,
you still own it? That's tough.
Yeah, dude, I still own it. Dude, I still have my mutant ape that I bought for 22 Ethereum.
That's crazy, dude.
Oh no!
Crazy, dude.
Oh no!
Alex,
Brown's official position.
Yeah. Do you guys have any apes there that I could pick up? Be great. Yeah, hear me out. A gotcha machine where Caleb and Brown's new vertical is a pawn shop, so that somebody like Will can get some cash for his ape, and somebody else can be its new temporary owner. Let's fractionalize it, Will. It's time to let that thing go.
No, that thing should die with Will.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you're not selling that. It's going to the ground with you.
It's part of your resume now, man.
Part of my resume. It's part of my resume. And hey, you know what? I'm sure there will be some mention. It's like, hey, only people who have diamond handed this mutant ape or Bored Ape for a whole decade can come to this really shitty party in Miami. And I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, can't wait to not go to that. Thanks
so you're telling me there's a chance.
Maybe some free merch as well. You never know.
Yeah.
Jim, we do have...
As a person who has attended more than one peak NFT Bored Ape Yacht Club party, I can't even fathom what the bottom of the bear
market
mutant ape spin-off party is going to be like.
Dude, there was a time when even the spin-off parties were legit. I went to a Caked Apes party once, and it was fire. I really have to say, I almost bought one. Jim, we have a couple of questions coming in before we get your take on some of the cool things that you're paying attention to, because I would like to know that. Fishing at Crypto, and I think it was SNW, pretty quick back-to-back. Thank you for your patience. Wanted to know how many clients you serve and how you guys are paid.
Yeah, so we service around, I think it's just over 60,000 now, with the majority being in the US, and our other markets are Australia, New Zealand, and now as of pretty recently, the UK. In terms of how we make our money as a business, it's a good question because it is, again, a bit more different to how most exchanges make most of their revenue. And so for us, we've always indexed for transparency. I think that's, again, another one of the big bugbears of crypto is that most platforms will charge hidden costs like spread, slippage, even things like withdrawal fees and withdrawal limits. And so for us, we just charge a flat, transparent fee on a buy, sell, or swap. So that default fee starts at 3.5%. Depending on the size, though, that can be negotiable with us and your broker. So if you're someone that's doing larger trades, look, at the end of the day, we're not here to gouge our clients on fees, so it can be negotiable. But the key thing is that you'll know exactly what you're getting charged. And so there's no spreads, there's no slippage. You're going to get the best market price at that time. But that's how we make money as a business. So as I mentioned before, we provide an institutional grade custody solution for clients. We don't charge for that. To speak to your broker, there's no charging for that. There's no withdrawal fees or limits as well. So yeah, it's just a flat fee on a trade.
Not on assets under management.
No.
Okay.
So we've never agreed to do that because, look, at the end of the day, you're punishing people that have a long-term horizon or view of this asset class. Yeah. So we don't charge custody.
So it would not be the right product for me, for example, but I think I know a lot of people who would be glad to pay that kind of a fee on a trade to get exposure to crypto, to get concierge like white glove service from a company with a person whose name they know. I mean, it's
we talk about it all the time, right? Like there's such a massive chasm between like opposite ends of the spectrum on like people who are into this kind of thing, between someone who eats, sleeps, and breathes it 24/7 and it is their entire personality, and then the person who's like, I want exposure to it and I never want to think about it. So there has to, at the end of the day, there has to be a service option for every single person along that whole spectrum.
Yeah, and there are elements of our service that, like, say Evan, or say someone else who's an active trader. Okay, that person probably isn't the right client to use us for the trading element or the main part of our brokerage. But then someone that is completely into DeFi, as an example, they still need a reliable way to off-ramp their profits at the end of the day. And so some clients will use us just for certain elements of our service. As I mentioned, there are no limits on withdrawals. And for custody, exactly right. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't enforce this, obviously, but a client may only hold 20 or 30% of their entire portfolio with us, and then they custody the rest themselves. People want options available to them and not to have all their eggs in one basket. And so it's just very dependent on how someone uses the service, but it's very different from client to client.
Yeah. And Fishing at Crypto responded, said, thank you. Wow. And I know a lot of people who could use that service. If you know those people, Fishing or anybody else, then we'd be honored if you share our link with them. I will put it in the description to all the recordings of this, wherever you are, whenever you listen. And of course, you can find it in the tools and deals tab at rumshq.com. Just confirm for everybody listening, Jim, that's not like you pay more so that we get some. It's just that Caleb and Brown says, thank you for the referral, and a portion of somebody's fees come to us, to the show. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly right. So the client is never paying more. It's more so the revenue we would get from fees we pass on to the team here just as a thank you. But also, more importantly, we know exactly where you've come from. And for our brokers, that's really valuable. So, you mentioned, what do we first talk about? One of the key things is if we already know they've come from this community, okay, we have a pretty strong understanding that they at least understand crypto and have education behind them and have you guys as a trusted resource. So for you as an individual, if you're looking to sign up, make sure you use the link, because it helps us know a bit more about you. But also, probably shouldn't say this, but we do prioritize our partnership communities and the people from them over just random people that sign up. And so you'll get priority access to a broker.
Well, thank you for telling us. Go ahead.
For anyone curious, I do have an answer. And it was close. As in same continent. I was on the right track by thinking that the farthest point for me is Australia.
I forgot that.
I did too.
That we still had.
I thought that was
did you walk there?
Listen, an elephant never forgets. So it is, and I'm actually not familiar with this particular city, but technically it is in the ocean. But the closest city to the point,
Atlantis.
I was like, Atlantis?
I just learned this too. The antipode, which is the geographical farthest position from me on the globe, is in Albany, Australia.
Albany, okay. That would be
is it in Perth? It's next to Esperance.
Yeah, so that's on the west coast in Western Australia. So that would be, because I guess if you're on the east coast of the US coming down, you'd go across. Yeah, that's pretty far. Even from here, from Melbourne, where I'm based, that's to get to the western part of Australia. It's a 6-7 hour flight. It's a huge country.
I was going to say, I looked up just Melbourne to Perth, and it was a 4-hour flight. And I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That's
Australia,
quick. I feel like
big.
It's usually longer than that as well. Yeah, Australia's huge. Australia's really big. And most of it's just like outback land.
Yeah, right. I understand it's gorgeous. Like the coasts and then
nothing on the inside.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's like uninhabitable. It's like desert at 40-degree heat every day.
It's kind of like hot Canada.
It's kind of like hot Canada. Yeah. Actually,
what I know about the two, right?
That's a great comparison.
It's pretty much just the coast.
Instead of syrup, it's Marmite.
The middle is uninhabitable.
Instead of moose, you get kangaroos.
Instead of moose, you got kangaroos.
It's populated almost exclusively by sweethearts, and the entire middle of it is just completely uninhabitable.
Yeah, it's.
Don't know if I'd call all Australian sweethearts. That's for sure.
Well, there's exceptions to every rule.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jim,
just wait until you try to do business with I work for a Canadian company. I'm also from Maine. I'm from Maine, so I'm basically a province Canadian. Of Canada. I'm basically an honorary Canadian. I've been in Canada all the time. I'm in Canada this weekend. Dude, I'm gonna have a great time.
Northern Michigan, you got to drive south to get to Canada. So I feel you.
That's true. Now we're at that time already. We've got to say bye-bye for now, Jim. We want to be respectful of your time. And as sort of a final thought, I will give you a chance to share your links or anything we didn't ask you about, but I really am excited to know, in addition to Polymarket and the perpification of everything, are there any crypto use cases, crypto companies or tools or things that make you say, oh yeah, this is really cool. Check this out. I want to learn about that.
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say I'm very fascinated in the real world asset tokenization space. I think that's starting to really progress with some of the key regulatory bodies in the US. Not so much from the stocks and financial products perspective. Obviously, that's kind of where I think we'll first be disrupted. But I've always been fascinated, and I don't know why, about sort of tokenized property. And I'm talking like real estate property. I don't think we're anywhere near that, but that's certainly a use case that I think will happen. I used to work at a property law firm, so I used to see a lot of the what would I say it as? I guess like the downsides of everything being on paper, just the sheer issues that I saw within a property law firm that could have been solved by those assets being on a blockchain and tokenization in general. So I'm pretty bullish on tokenization as a whole. Whilst I think, poly market and speculation markets are great, it's ultimately just another way for people to speculate. But if I did have to touch on one business that I'm sure you guys have covered before that has really been a pretty popular business within our firm, it's Hype. I think Hyperliquid has shown that they're a pretty clear use case in terms of the revenue that they've generated. They've all pretty much invested the majority of that revenue back into their token. To me, that's a pretty interesting use case and one that has clear product market fit. And even they're starting to do more in the tokenized asset space as well. So whilst that's more on the speculation side, I do think that they're a really strong use case. And to be honest, one of the few businesses and assets that's actually outperformed the market. Most altcoins have obviously, gone down quite a lot. So I would say those two sort of use cases are interesting.
Jim, I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at an altcoin chart in 9 months. You're telling me things have been bad since October 9th?
For someone that, and I didn't touch on this at the start, got started with Ethereum. I hold way too much Ethereum right now. So I know exactly how that feels.
I feel you. Yep.
Not a bad one to have, though.
Not a bad one to have.
No.
And as far as tokens who have product market fit, I can count on one hand, maybe, tokens that are more well-designed than Hype at this moment in time. I feel like if you exclude stablecoins, I feel like it gets pretty crowded. Okay.
Definitely. And look, the team behind it executed unbelievably well and they have a great product. So yeah, fully agree with that.
But just like three people running a multi-billion-dollar company. It's insane.
It's insane, isn't it? Yeah.
Ludicrous.
Jim, have you got a final ask or request of our audience? Anything we didn't ask you about that you'd like to share as a final thought?
No, not at all. I mean, look, something that I do offer is I usually provide my email if anyone wants to actually, ask any further questions.
Yeah.
I do know that's a bit of a daunting experience signing up for any new crypto platform, right? I think we've seen, I've been burnt over the years by many companies. So I'm more than happy to provide my email. And all I would say is, look, we've been around since 2016. So there's tons of stuff out there about us. So if you're eager to work with us, I recommend you do your due diligence on us like any other business. But no, I would just say thank you very much for having me on. It was very enjoyable. I'm used to usually doing more sort of structured, less fun interviews and chats. So this was certainly up there with probably one of the best. So yeah, thanks for having me on and would be really eager to come back on at some point as well.
Hell yeah,
We'd be glad to have you. And we will connect you with Jim. If you want his email, we'll be glad to put people in touch. But like I said, the link is at the bio. And of course, you can find more about Caleb and Brown at Caleb and Brown on X or calebandbrown.com. Jim, have a great day. Thank you, my friend, for making time to join us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on. See ya.
Yes, sirree, Bob. 4 points for Jim. 2 points for Will, 2 points for Caleb and Brown, points for Privy, points for Uncles asking about crypto. Alex, you broke even.
Uncles asking about crypto.
And I'm right up there with Jim. So you guys got to do something to catch up to me, because
how did you get 4 points?
How did I? I'll have to tell you another time.
See?
Study the game.
Who you see?
It's highly suspicious that you have 4 points and Alex is at break even 0 on the game after Alex kicked your ass in trading on Euphoria.
Listen, kicked my ass. Suspicious. He beat me by $50.
50%.
How much did you start with?
We started with 100.
And what was your ending total?
He beat you by 50%.
I had $102.87 at the end.
Okay, I beat you first for the record. For the record,
yeah,
I beat you by $51.
He significantly trounced you.
Oh,
yeah, no. Your P&L was 2%. Mine was 53.
Yeah, you underperformed the S&P. Meanwhile, Alex's top 1% of 1%. You know,
dude, put me in Congress. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
No, you're not. You're not 85 years old yet. You can't be at Congress.
Yeah,
you gotta wait. You gotta wait.
You're right.
If you become terminally ill, then maybe we'll allow you on Congress. Because then eventually you'll just be a corpse, and they can just wheelchair you and just like hope your body hits the paper, and they're like, "That's a vote."
Okay, hold that thought. I'll be back in 70 years.
You start chain smoking cigarettes. I'm working on it, guys.
I'm aging as fast as I can. Damn it!
Yeah, it's the start of my campaign.
Yeah, I knew Alex would win. He's going back, we think, to defend his title next Wednesday. You'll be able to tune in and catch him tap trading against someone else. How wild would it be? They were telling us this is their second season of doing this live stream. They've done a handful before this, and that no person who has won has effectively defended their title. So if Alex goes 2 for 2, he's going to be the most successful tap trader.
Decorated.
The most decorated, which is fine, man. I am glad to be a stepping stone on your way to glory. Just remember me when you hit that tap.
I understand how to feel the vibe of the squiggle. I'm too analytical. I can't feel the vibe. I'm not a vibe guy.
No, no data, just vibes. No data, just vibes, bro.
I'm a data. Leave the vibes to the side guy.
Yep. You know what though? Today was a really weird one. It was actually really hard because it was almost a perfectly flat line for the entire competition. And every now and then it would just blip, like up like 2 squares. So anybody who was betting the fringes, you lost every time because there was never a move that aggressive, like within a short amount of time. It was a very gradual bleed and then a very gradual kind of recovery in about like a $2 range over the course of how long for ETH. So a $2 range of ETH on there is like 8 squares tall. So basically, if you just put them all in a straight line, your odds of you just riding straight through and maybe missing 1 or 2 here as it like blipped was kind of the move. And that's basically all I did was just like double and triple bet the taps inside the middle in one line. And as soon as you get a sense that it's following this course, you start double betting on the ones you've already purchased. And then that
how do you double bet on the ones you
tap
purchased?
The same square you already tapped.
See,
and it doubles the bet.
That's good to know. I should have asked. I made the mistake of...
You would have made $4.
Well, I made the mistake first of all.
Alex really liked that. I think that's the hardest I've made him laugh in a long time. Yeah. That's the hardest I've made him laugh in a long time.
To be fair, it was pretty funny.
To be fair.
It made $4.
Shut up, man. Come on. Shut up. I was trying my best, okay?
I think I get a little ding for making Alex laugh that hard.
Yeah, that's probably good. Worth 2 points.
Put a smile on his face right there.
Oh my God. That was brilliant.
It's probably worth 2 points.
You putts.
He deserves it. You gotta let him get it out. I really piled on the trash talk today. Yeah, I went from being, the gracious, he's my co-founder and we love our jobs and want to help people, to being like, you're going down, sucker, and you're short. So it's,
Well, and the chat the whole time was like, Evan's up there like being a host and being hospitable and like yakking it up and answering all these questions. And I'm just staring at my screen. I was locked in the entire time.
He was so locked in, dude. He absolutely deserved the win. Yeah, it was.
You would have made $4. Come on. Thanks, Will. I needed that.
You're welcome, man. I'm always here for you. I got you.
I am a big fan of this.
Okay, somebody
even
saved
drunk
me. Somebody saved me from that. I'm drinking water, man. It was a sobering. It was a
me
sobering
too.
victory.
Me too.
Okay. Let us know what you're
this,
drinking,
yeah.
what you're thinking.
Got this gigawatt.
Yeah,
One of my favorite 1920s slang. Gigawatt for alcohol.
Gigawatt. Yeah. Also, getaway sticks and gams for legs.
Gams for legs. What are getaway sticks?
Legs.
Oh, getaway sticks. I like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Dude,
man.
now I'm entering the domain of
The silly
slap
part.
happydom.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anything will set you off. Anything will set off that laugh. That's like when you were in school and your friend made you laugh and you're like, you're just like trying, and the teacher's just like slowly starting to turn. You're just like, and then he just looks over you and he just says the most random thing. He's like, yeah, you know, you just turn over to look at your friend and he's just like, and you're both just like, and you lose it, and then you go to the principal's office.
That's the worst because you know the teacher's got to know. Like you're like, it's not. I clearly it's not this funny. I'm so sorry. I absolutely can't control myself.
They're too underpaid to care.
Oh God,
they're too underpaid to care.
Okay, if you've got something, Tori says, let's keep it rolling, fellas. Let's keep it rolling. All right, thank you. We'll keep it rolling.
Aye, Captain.
You got a joke, if you got a word of wisdom, you got a question, you know.
Save the jokes. Wait, give me a little bit.
Give this man a breather.
Stall.
Well, Will, I know you've got to go.
Sorry, the stall got me.
You've got to go a little early tonight, so I'm happy to defer to you and say, since you're going to be gone tomorrow and out of town for a couple of days, is there anything you want to check on? You want to go to Pacifica and launch a trade? You want to pitch the Discord? You want to
I already have
preview
an open
PPI?
trade. I have an open short on Bitcoin again. I've had a very successful week with my trades this week. Let's see.
Yeah, you and Doug have both just been crushing it.
Yeah, Doug and I have been on a little bit of a tear. Let's see. Where's the old? Why isn't my Discord?
While you work to pull it up, I'm going to answer a question on your behalf. This is one of the most common questions we get from Fishing at Crypto. Are Will's swords real? And the answer is, in fact, yes, they are real.
Yes,
you got those
you
got those in Japan, right?
No, I got those in Epcot.
Oh, Epcot.
Blacked out.
Japan World.
At Japan with a credit card, and I just like came to, and it was like, oh, you spent like $600 and like spent an extra $200 on shipping. And I was like, hell yeah, baby.
Yeah.
It's like hell yeah. What did I buy this time? You bought swords. Tight.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. But yeah, no, this week's been really nice. So I had a basically a 48% trade. I had a 38% trade. Had a minus 5% trade. And then had a 62.6% trade today as well. So the Dolphin is flying high, and then Doug's trades have been great this week as well. 112% long on Solana, 61% long on Bitcoin, 50% short on Ethereum. So Doug's been crushing it. And for those of you who are wondering what we're looking at, this is the Discord server. Carol, I see, does the Discord server have a name yet? It does. And I think, excuse me, oh my God. I think everybody's going to be very pleased with it. It's going to be called The Beacon. And
I love that.
And also, Doug has made some branding for it, and it's phenomenal. I can't wait to officially launch and release it. But like as of right now, this is still very much so a work in progress. And I know we have the Circle community and the Discord, and so I want to make the roles of this very clear to people. The Circle is the place to go to get access to office hours, to get access to education, to ask a question about how do I set up this wallet? What's the difference with the wallet? What exchange do you use? I'm worried about this. Is this a scam? You know, Alex, Evan, can you help me? I'm having some problems. I can't find my funds. I bought a token and it's in my wallet, but I don't see it. You know, all these types of questions. Get access to the analyst reports that we'll be having come out, and a number of other things. Right? General Q&A. The Discord is purely for trading. It is purely an investment vehicle to go over crypto, stocks, commodities, meme coins. It's to, we're going to be including in a number of different analysts over time as well to say, here's a million different ways that you can trade and look at the market in different strategies. And there's going to be less hand-holding here. There will be a little bit, but there'll be a little bit less. And it's going to be, hey, I want to get access to just see how Will and Doug are thinking. I want to see how some very successful traders in our community, like Ryan Lucero, we're going to make him an analyst because he hasn't lost a trade in 7 weeks.
Wow.
Dude, shout out Ryan. He's one of the rise up like OGs. From
and he's just such a real one. Just a nice guy.
Years ago.
He is a real good guy. And we're going to get some other people in here too. And so you can come in here and we'll have like a general chat, just like talking about the markets. If you want to talk about crypto, we're here. Radio Dan's here right now. We'll be chatting a little bit back and forth during it. You know, if you want to talk about stocks, also Doug has found some awesome like DeFi Llama version of stocks. He found it. Dude, it's sick. I'm still like piecing it together, but like the amount of information is awesome. So we're going to have a whole list of resources of like useful tools that you can go and use for free as well to help you in your trading and investing journey. You know, random meme coin shitters, which Doug loves, but also just like general ideas about like where we like to maybe get some. And then commodities as well. We were talking about sugar earlier today. That then turned into us talking about the land before time, but then we got back into oil. You know, and so Doug and I will also be, you know, hosting some voice channels here, like on Friday. What we want to do, it won't be this Friday, but it'll be once we officially launch. We're going to have journal day where like Doug's going to be reviewing his wins and losses. Like, hey, this is what I learned here. This is what I should have done differently. I'll do the exact same thing as well. And it'll be an opportunity again where you get to watch someone who is a successful trader and the other analysts open up their book of trades and just pick apart their own so that you can learn from us destroying and picking apart what we did that week as well. And we're going to add a few other things here too. We're also going to be doing some eventual like trading competitions. So it'll be something like, hey, start with $100 and by end of the month, the top 3 people to turn $100 into something, you know, whatever it is, will earn like $300 in Bitcoin, $200 in Bitcoin, and $100 in Bitcoin, right? And we're going to do some other fun competitions as well. So that's what we want it to be. The circle is the general question, Q&A. How does this work? Can someone help me handhold a little bit? And the Discord is trading, investing, market insight. And there's a little bit less handholding here and a little bit more just I want exposure to how very fast moving and also even some like slower swing traders. I want a very versatile breadth of investor types here. How did they approach the market? How have they been successful? And what can I learn from them just sharing their thoughts and how they approach the market? That's
and the Discord
between the two.
It's part of the premium service too.
And I was just about to say, the two are attached because in order to get into the trading Discord, you need to be a premium member of Circle. There is no other way for anyone to ever get entrance into the Discord server if you are not a premium member. The only other people will be some of the analysts that I personally invited and Doug, and I'm trying to leverage a few other folks' contacts as well. But what this will do is this will create a barrier between people and a crap ton of scammers getting into the Discord server. But also, we've spoken with people as well. Matt, our intern as well, said like, hey, he found my TA videos and he came into the community for that, but he stayed for Evan and Alex and like the conversations about how DeFi works and all of that. And I want people to, because when the bull market comes, everyone's going to be, what should I buy? How do I trade? How do I make money? They're going to want to come for the trading, and I'm there for you. You know, me and Doug were there for you. But I want you to stay with us long term so that when you're frothing at the mouth to figure out if what should I do? How do I do this whole trading thing? There is also a home for you to stay long term, even in the bear market, to keep and focus on how do I keep improving my knowledge base? How do I keep empowering myself with crypto and Web3 knowledge? How do I stay on top of everything that's happening in this space? Make sure I learn and make sure I have a community of people to guide me along that path. So that is why, another reason why, get into Circle and Premium to make sure you have those resources and then get into the Discord. Because also, picking the coins or stocks that you want to invest in, you need to know how to figure out what's real and what's total vaporware shit. And so that's the kind of stuff you find in the circle to then go into the Discord and say, hey, I'm interested in these 3 cryptos. And let me start sharing my ideas and opinions and get immediate feedback.
And then there's me, copy trading Doug.
Yeah, but I'm posting. I and Doug right now in our analyst sections are posting way more ideas of charts and like how we're approaching trades there than we even are on Twitter.
Beautiful. So if you're a premium member already, the link is in the lounge. If you're not a premium member, you can sign up for a 10-day trial totally free right now. Get access to office hours, find the community, introduce yourself, say hi, get the link to the Discord. And there are so many more benefits. More will be added over time, but you ought to do that soon because we are going to increase the price because we want to be sure we can scale this. If 1 million trillion people come in, then it's going to be very difficult for us to make office hours anything other than just another rise up show. We don't want to do that.
It's obscene. Right now, office hours cost $1.26 an hour.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Go ahead.
I do also want to say that because we will always allow you to have a 10-day trial of premium and try everything for free. You will then, if you're smart, use that to go into the Discord. However, we are checking. There's going to be a system in place. If your email is in the Discord server and you are not a premium member, you're gone. You're out. You'll get I'll make sure you get a message to be like, hey, you've been kicked out of the server. You have to become a premium member again in order to do so. But like, we will be checking. You will not get access to this for free.
Will is going to show up at your doorstep.
You're a loser.
You're right out. He means business. I like that. I appreciate it.
I will. I mean, at a time, we're doing we're putting like the 3 of us and also Doug as well and Tori and Matt are putting in so much more time as well. I know everyone who's watching, you don't see. It's like, oh, these guys, these bums turn on their cameras.
These guys get on and laugh a bunch.
And they just talk for a while. It's like, we're putting in a lot of hours and we're trying to deliver way more for you guys once like September rolls around as well. And it's going to be really cool and super awesome. And, but you know, there needs to be a financial carrot in front of us as well to do that and to pay for the time. And to also, we need at least like 1 more employee as well. So, you know, we're working on it. So.
One. Until my mortgage is free and Will's rent doesn't exist. And, you know, all that jazz. Unfortunately, businesses have to make money. As I learned from the no less than 300 people who came into my POAP comment sections to tell me that businesses need money to survive. I didn't know that for the other week. So appreciate it. Will, is it okay if I put a cherry on top really quick? If I get the sense. So someone asked, do we have a public Discord? No. We used to. And honestly, the amount of spam was out of this world. And more than one time, which one is too many, more than one time, a brand new person who joined it to like learn how to protect themselves got hit by a fake Evan or a fake Alex or a fake Will in the DMs. Discord impersonators are impossible to police against because they never join your server. They sit outside of it and mimic being a part of it. And then they send scout accounts that you just simply can't find very easily at all to lure people into DMs, and then they hose them there. So we opted to move the entire free thing. There is still a free one. It's just not in Discord. It's in a place called Circle, which is like a little bit clunkier and a little bit slower, but it is about 100,000 times safer than Discord for that environment. So as Will's saying, you know, you can join the Circle. It's free. There's stuff you can...
Well, and that gives it a bad rap. I think a lot of people might actually prefer Circle to Discord because the number one thing I hear about Discord from people who experience it for the first time is this is so overwhelming.
It is. No, it is. But like Cody said, you jump into the general chat on a Discord. It's faster. It's easier. Circle has a lot more features. There's a lot more stuff in there. It looks a lot nicer. It looks a lot smoother. It's a lot easier to like navigate and exist there, all that sort of stuff. So that's why the free part lives in Circle.
Yeah. That's a lovely cherry. I would eat it. Well, when you said I can't find my trades or I can't find my crypto, I thought for some reason you were going to say, come into the community. Some people, you say, I can't find my dad. I can't find my mom. And I just imagine all these people coming in like, help me, mister. I need help.
Yeah.
Well, and I have to say that the newest analyst joining the Beacon is actually me. I'll be replacing both Will and Doug. Because,
it's just going to be tap trading.
Oh, because Will, I don't mean to outshine you here,
Ooh.
but listen,
damn,
guys,
dude, 3.17%.
Yeah,
money's money, baby.
So, Will, you know this obviously, but when you generate the little like win card on Pacifica, it asks you, do you want to display the dollar amount? And I did, and I was like, oh wait, that's right, it was $4.17. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna keep it as percentage, and I'll pretend.
All I ask is one thing, Alex. You gotta include our referral link to Pacifica when you tweet one of those beautiful scorecards, and those 3.17%. That's going to get the people who want to use it.
Good catch. I got you.
Yeah.
We had a question from Angie. How much is it? So let me just clarify one more time. It is 10 days free and then $30 a month. And that is not just the Discord. That is everything. That is office hours with me, with Alex, with Will, which is like small group coaching every single week. It's about 5 hours of coaching time. You get access to the Discord. You get discounts if you want to buy a one-on-one. If you want to buy a digital product like the ones we sell, you get free access to a lot of digital products like Alex's Bear Market Survival Guide, the research papers. Alex, we showed it on the show the other day, generated an excellent like 20-page prospectus that he worked with. Was that you? Sorry,
Alex and I, we worked together on it.
I thought it was Alex and DeFi Llama. I'm sorry.
There's way more data in there than just DeFi Llama. There's like 12
there's a tremendous amount, and I know you guys, you spent a lot of time on it.
I spent a lot of time on this.
Every quarter, we're going to be releasing reports like that, trying to do more.
Not just every quarter. We're going to have them sitting there for the top 10 cryptos that get updated every single quarter that are available for premiums. Yes, and then premium members can also request us to do one report a week on like a coin of their interest. That will come at a fee. It'll be available for purchase to general people as well.
But for simplicity's sake, for Angie's question, how much is the Discord? You can try it free. Then it's $30 a month. We are raising the price at the end of this month approximately. It will be $100 a month to get all those services. If you're already a member, you will be grandfathered in. There are people who've been OG members since we were on Discord the first time who are paying $9 a month and will get all this stuff. So if that seems prohibitive to you, do the free trial, get in while it's $30 a month, and give us your feedback. There will always be free shows, free content, a free community. We're never going to charge you to ask us a question and learn with us. But for the things we cannot scale to everybody, your price is $30 a month. And I don't know anywhere else in the world you can get that kind of value for that kind of price. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Kudos
so get
to
it
you,
while
gentlemen.
you can, because we're going to always grandfather the people in who are here early.
But President Business is making some money, okay?
Yeah. But you'll be grandfathered in forever. So get grandfathered into the $30, and we're just going to deliver more for you guys over time.
Yeah, and the goal
until
is really
our
to
dying
more.
day. Knock on wood.
Until they close the lid on me. Hopefully, it's a long time. Okay, we have really squeezed all the juice out of this. My hair has dried in the time we have talked about it. So tell me first of all why, and then tell me if you want to give a preview to anything, Will, before you get out of here. Do you want to preview PPI? You talked about CPI today.
Yeah, PPI inflation comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's going to be a market reaction leading into it and then after it. The expectation is that PPI inflation data... what was the expectation? Let me just look that up. Expectation investing.com. Investing.com always does a good job making it nice and simple. That's the last release. Upcoming release. That is PPI inflation. Interesting. So PPI inflation is expected to come in at 4.9%. Previously, it was 5.5%. So damn, PPI inflation is really hot. This is the measurement of the cost of goods that businesses experience. So again, think of like a Walmart buying cereal from General Mills, right? That's an example. So like that purchase has become more expensive. So that's forecasted to come in at 4.9%. So we'll see if it becomes higher than that, and the market will react poorly. If it comes in right at 4.9%, it'll also probably react poorly. But that would still be inflation coming down. So we'll see.
Thank you very
Just
much.
expect a lot of volatility in the morning time. And also, if we rally into the morning, which it looks like we're kind of doing now, I would not believe that rally at all in the slightest. Kind of like what happened earlier today. If you have a whatever is happening, whatever Bitcoin is doing going into one of these important data reports, typically expect the opposite reaction to happen once the data is released. If Bitcoin is sliding and the data report is released, typically it ends up being good and things get better. If you rally into it, typically, not always, you end up getting a disappointing data result, and the market takes a little bit of a breather.
Just a bit of a breather. Yeah. A little more sideways, which is a great time to tap in and play some Euphoria. And it's also a great time to learn. Let me take a quick second to thank the sponsors that make this show possible. I am talking, of course, about our friends at SatRush, Jito, and Arculus. Speaking of links that will be useful to traders, if you have not yet clicked the JTX referral link, we think it's going to be the best place to buy spot on chain, but they are building the engines to power the infrastructure that they've created. It is super fair, super fast, and it's efficient. They have a really helpful measuring tool that tells you on their site at what price your trade settles compared to other centralized and decentralized options. So you can see if you're getting the best deal. Perps coming soon, among other things. It's a great place to do your spot buys if you prefer to be on chain. And of course, that's where the link to Caleb and Brown lives, etc. The Arculus wallets, I am pleased to tell you, are going to print. Fariba is getting a confirmation for us in the morning, but then everybody who's pre-ordered, thank you. Will be getting a good notification soon. It should be just in time for the holidays. And actually, I'm hoping they'll be ready before we go to Solana Breakpoint in London, because I was talking to Jower about this. He was saying he might be under the weather on that day and take off work in order to come to the city to meet us. And we might have to deliver a purple wallet to him personally. It is a regular Arculus wallet, except of course with Rise Up Purple, Rise Up branding. Only 100 will ever be made.
Jonas, if you do that, I will hand it to you myself.
You got to fight me, man.
I will.
You take my wallet. No, you take my wallet. No,
take mine. Yeah.
I'll be like, here you go.
2 Americans were arrested outside of the tube today. I swear they look like the same guy in different fonts. I don't know.
I won't be doing the accent.
No, you won't. I am pretending to be somebody who's being interviewed by the newscaster.
I know. You just transported me back to the time you tried
himself.
Dunderhead.
I know.
He couldn't help himself then trying to do the accent in front of them. And they'd be like, this.
Oh, hi, governor. Yeah, right.
Guy.
They'll be like, this guy.
They'd be like, we hate you so much. But we also like you. You're nice, but also hate you.
No, I would never do that. Absolutely
straight to jail.
Do that.
You know what I would.
Is that racist? Doesn't count if they're British. Is it racist? Doesn't count if they're English.
You know what I would do in that exact instance is one time I was chaperoning a group of college students between Michigan and Windsor. So you drive across the bridge to Canada, and you get stopped by CBP, and they come on and they say hi, and everyone does passports and all that whole deal. And as soon as they walked on, they were always so great about the whole thing. It was always like very painless, but you just knew like this is not the time for screwing around. Sitting up there, I'm handing over passports, doing the whole thing. And this one kid in the back of the bus just yells, "Hide the drugs." And the agent looked at me and looked at the kid. And then I was like, I know. And he was like, everybody off. And everyone had to get off. It took forever. I was like, can I just give him to you? I don't need to take him with me. You can have him. And unfortunately, it didn't work.
Dude, I had the same thing happen. I was there on a band trip. And this is before my infamous Canada story. We were going across, same kind of thing, real friendly. We had called ahead. They knew we were coming, and everybody had all their stuff, had given it to the teacher. The guy got on, was looking through our IDs, and another agent said, "Hey, as we check your IDs, I just need a verbal confirmation. Is everyone here an American citizen?" And one wise ass in the back of the bus said, "Sí, señorita." And it was the same thing. She immediately went, and you could almost hear the... And it was like everybody
it's
off.
So much more work.
It was terrible.
I remember I was leaving Toronto from a bachelor party. This was years ago. And I drove from, I was living in Massachusetts at the time before I moved to North Carolina. I drove from Worcester up to Toronto. And when we came back, my buddy who's getting married, he was in the Rangers, or he was a Ranger, I should say. And, you know, we were being very, very, very patriotic. You know, I had Rocky IV American flag, like short boxer shorts. I had American flag tank top on. There were American flag sunglasses, just like, you know. And then we went to a Formula One race up there, and we did a few other things as well. But anyway, we're driving back. It's me and my buddy Blaine, who's from Oklahoma. And we were crossing the border, and we're just like brutally hungover. And I'm still dressed in all of the American gear because we got back from the club at like 7 a.m. and I need to be on the road at like 8:30. And we're getting to the border, and we just pull up in this car. We're both just decked out in American gear, trying to get into America, and we look like the biggest just like phonies, trying to be like, trust us, we're not gonna do anything. We looked like we were trying so hard to fit in, and they just looked at us and they just looked back and forth, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna have to search this car. We're like, I was like, hey guys, and then yeah, that was that. They just looked at us and they're like, you're trying too hard. That's highly suspicious.
Well, I know you got to ride yourself off into the sunrise so that you can get on a jet plane and you can travel in the morning. Have you got any sort of final thoughts, any last questions, words of wisdom for the audience, or suggestions for where to buy Rocky shorts before you go?
Amazon has them. They're great. I would say for those of you who are joining the Discord, it is very much so a work in progress. So give us feedback as to what you would like, and you know, we can totally take that into account. I don't think we'll have this. I think this Discord will be 90 to 95% done once we get to September. So, you know, let us know like what things aren't working. There's some things in there that aren't working right now. Like I said, it's very much so a work in progress. So we're fine tuning it. And again, you can only be a member of the Beacon, which is a
banging name.
The Beacon. If you are a premium member, which costs $30 a month until September 1st comes, roughly, and then it will be $100 a month. So
I have got the link on screen.
Getting's good.
Thank you very much, Will, and safe travels, man. I appreciate all your work to get this going and everything you do for us. You rocked it. So,
oh yeah. See y'all
he's
later.
Your friend. He's mine, Mr. William Watson.
Have a good week, everyone.
rumshq.com, rumshq.com. It is the link in bio wherever you are, whenever you listen. That is the place you got to go. Right at the top, there is a button that will let you sign up for the premium trial. You can get into the crypto community free. You can pre-order a purple wallet, or I saw you going back and forth about this in the comments, Alex. If you've got a business inquiry, you can contact our management. It's easy peasy.
Yep,
lemon
or that.
Squeezy. Or that, but also, you know, send us an email, that kind of thing. Write it on the back of a Bitcoin transaction, and we will make sure it gets to the right place. Speaking of transactions, Alex, one of the things I wanted to share was the resolution to the wild and crazy payment adventure I went on today.
Oh my God, dude.
Dude, are you ready to talk about this? I might need a drink to talk about this.
Yeah, why not?
All right, get me one. Pour me a drink. All right, listen. This is an important story. This is an important story for everybody to hear. I'm going to try and make it as compelling and engaging and interesting as possible. And I would invite you, drop your questions in the comments. Alex, if we get some questions, I would love to answer some rapid fire questions before we go. But this is an important PSA. Okay.
Yeah, no, we've got time. So send the questions. We can talk about whatever. We've covered a lot of stuff. If you have altcoin questions, crypto questions, market questions, whatever. Totally. We'll do our best, but
yeah, we're here for you. And if after my story, then I'm gonna make Alex talk for a second, and I'm gonna need a drink after this story that's not water. So
yeah, I don't blame you.
And the moral before I get in is it is good. One of the other reasons you should join the community. Everybody thinks crypto is about making money, and a lot of people that's what they come here for. I get it, totally cool. But let me tell you what: don't let.
It's also about managing money.
It's about managing money, and it is about. It is a good metaphor for wealth. Okay, do not let your fixation with the money cause you to miss the wealth. Dude, if I lost all my money tomorrow, I would be one of the wealthiest people anybody listening to this knows in the crypto space. That is not a boast. It is not a brag. But this story I am about to tell you illustrates that the wealth I have here is because this is a small space and your reputation is your most valuable asset. And who you know matters a lot when what you do goes wrong. So We got a vendor payment the other day, and our vendor overpaid us. Sometimes it happens, and reached out to him. I said, hey, we appreciate the money, but...
Was that a tip or an extra?
I suspect you might have sent us too much. And this was like a not insignificant sum of money that they had overpaid us by. So I wanted to make sure that we got it back into their hands promptly, immediately. And I prefer to use, for one of our wallets, a hot wallet, the Base app. Not because it's my favorite app, but because it works well as an intermediary with other crypto tools we use. I personally find that Coinbase connects to many banks. They work well with businesses. And you know what the easiest way to get on chain from Coinbase is, don't you? Base wallet, Base app, Base network. Just makes sense. If you're moving a lot of money doing business stuff between a chain and off chain, that's one of the good routes. So I tend to use it for things like this. Well, the Base wallet does not handle all transactions the same because we've talked about this before on the show.
Because that would be too easy.
It would be too easy. And cryptocurrency tokens, they live on different networks. This is not necessarily Base app's fault or any wallet's fault. This is true. In order to support a network.
You tell the story. Sorry, I'll translate the anger version afterwards.
I do like it, though. I actually appreciate the interjection because it's good. People can get this in context.
Yeah.
This particular transaction needed to be sent over the Solana network. That's where it was sent from. USDC on the Solana network. And the general workflow that I have done probably, 12 dozen times is you look at the address, you copy the from address, you send it back to that address, you paste it. Well, for whatever reason, the logic of an SPL token is such that I copied the address, I pasted the address, I confirmed the address and confirmed the transaction. And the second that the transaction was confirmed, the address changed. And in fact, I would challenge you to do this right now. If you have the Base app wallet, you may find that if you copy an address you've received from and send any amount of cryptocurrency to that address, it will be replaced with another one, especially if the person sending it to you was using an exchange account, was interacting with an entity that would need to do a swap or something like that.
Well, no, you said that you tried to replicate it and they patched it.
That's also true. They patched the error, it seems, that caused this address to be changed after the fact.
Dude.
And what happened is, in that time that this person's using a wallet on an exchange. And so when you're sending to a wallet on an exchange, you're probably interacting in the middle with a wallet owned by that exchange, in this case, Coinbase. And so the contract logic sees my transaction request, says, oh, you're trying to send it to a wallet that isn't the destination.
Cody says,
let me look at this wallet. What's he say?
Cody says, that's stupid. And just for everyone listening, it gets worse.
Yeah, so sorry. So it says, I think you're trying to do this. And then it takes the liberty, instead of canceling the transaction, instead of saying, no, I recognize you're trying to send to a wallet that you ought not to send to, it says, I think I can figure this out for you.
Which, for the record, every major platform has integrated that feature years ago, including Coinbase.
Right.
They have the tech.
Coinbase. But for whatever reason, this time, it sent those tokens to a sort of off-chain smart contract managed program, but that nobody really has direct key ownership to. At least that's the way it appeared, meaning they are essentially in a wallet that Coinbase owns, but which doesn't respond to requests from their private key. Because I have asked it to execute one thing and it has chosen to execute another. I got on the phone with Coinbase support.
Dude.
They were very responsive. And I called Coinbase support because even though I initiated this from a Base app wallet, I was sending to a Coinbase exchange wallet. And you may or may not know that if you are sending from or sending to an exchange, often you can get recourse in the event of a wrong address or a bad transaction or something like that. These folks said, well, here's our link, but good luck. I don't know that we can help you. I tried to claim the transaction.
That's what
back.
I like to hear when I call customer service, like, oh, yikes, buddy, good luck.
Dude. And that it went downhill from there. I tried to get the transaction back. They said, we don't recognize the wallet. It doesn't have authority, because the wallet that had authority was their wallet that I had, sent to, that had reassigned them somewhere else. And I asked the vendor, I said, hey, they said you might be able to claim these because you were the intended recipient. No, not able to claim them. same error message. And then the real cherry on top is that I thought I'll be helpful when I write this up to them, and I'll take a screen recording of exactly what happened. And it was at that time I discovered that for whatever reason now, when I attempted to do it again, they would not let me complete the transaction. It returned an error, as it ought to have in the first place. So
the moral of the story here is that Evan got address swapped at the last possible second, which in any other context would be called an exploit or a hack. The app then decided to arbitrarily send all of the money to basically a burn address instead that nobody has the keys to. And that's it. It just ate the money and it's gone forever.
No, it's not. That's the best part of this story. I get on the phone.
If this ends any way other than Coinbase being like, that was a colossal fuck up, here's your money back.
So I write this message to Coinbase, letting them know what happened, because I can read a blockchain explorer and I can understand what is happening here. And especially because after the fact, they would not let me do the transaction the second time. I think this is a wallet Coinbase owns. Their logic has been updated to prevent this error from occurring, which means they know it exists. I think they ought to give me a reimbursement.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, get somebody who is a dedicated SPL engineer from the Base app to take a look at this. And then I call Mike, talking about LogaDog founder, Coinbase engineer, Machiste for the OGs, friend of the show, great guy. He works there. I know him. We like each other. But, God bless him. It's a weekend, and I sent him this write up, and he is like, let me see what I can do. And today, after just a little back and forth, I got the refund in my Coinbase account. So 10 points to Mike.
Dude.
It is about who you know. Coinbase
Legend.
always had the ability to go in there and spend a little extra time and make it right.
Of course they did. They wanted you to forget about it.
Of course.
Dude, that's so fucking skeezy.
And I will tell you too, we have spoken with, at Mike's request, last week, a friend who is trying to spread the Base app to more people. And I told Mike frankly today, I said, thank you. I said, but I've got to be real with you. We are so bearish on the Base app that if I had not received this refund, and even though I did, it's going to be hard for me to give an authentic testimony. I said, but I do still think that the Base app is the best way to go from Coinbase on chain. I'm willing to hear it out. And most of all, I want you back on the show to tell the thrilling story of this refund capture, talk about what you're doing, and we'll think about it, because there are legitimate uses for it. But you better believe when I got that refund back and needed to send it to our vendor, that I sent a test transaction first to a direct wallet address, and that I used the Coinbase exchange, not the Coinbase wallet, because I ain't trying to mess around with that again.
I mean, the real moral of the story is, if you want, like, okay, what's the actionable advice? How do I avoid this in the future? There's two things. One, send the test transaction. Never a bad idea. Never a bad idea. But second, and this, I don't want it to sound like when I say this, I'm telling everyone that Evan should have known better, because he did the same thing that basically everybody does when they're like going back through the ledger to send something to someone, whatever. Like if I'm doing it, I go through my history and grab the address that made the deposit or that sent me the thing,
100%.
or whatever. Have done it many times before. However, one way to mitigate for this is something that I have started to do because I am just paranoid that someone sent me something from the wrong address, or that they somehow in the span of time between the send and the receipt from whatever I'm sending back to them may have lost access to that wallet. Maybe whatever, something has happened. I do not know. Not my business. Don't care. I always, before sending, especially a significant sum, contact the person who I'm sending it to and ask them to send me physically, like through text or DM or whatever, the wallet address. Confirm for me the wallet address you want me to send this to, and then I will copy.
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
Yeah,
always a good idea to do for sure.
Jerk?
I just wanted to come on and tell everybody again to wash their skin and to do a red light therapy mask if you got one. I'm about to do a BHAA Paula's Choice exfoliant of my skin as well, and then put on a moisturizer. It'll close up the pores, and it's really gonna help you later. So not sponsored, but current body red light mask. It's really great.
Thanks, Iron Man.
Have a.
What are you doing?
For podcast land.
This is after dark. We can do jump scares.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the first time that's ever happened. So, you know what? Props to you. That was a good one. For podcast land, Will was just re-summoned from his skincare routine and is now back with us in his red light therapy mask.
I just needed to tell everybody to take care of their skin and wash it and moisturize it and use sunscreen in the morning and do a little bit of self-care. That's it.
Reef safe sunscreen.
The 3 T's, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of your skin. Take the time to send a test transaction and take your goddamn profits. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Yeah, and my moral of the story is it's never a bad idea to send a test transaction.
No.
And even experienced crypto users, we try to be very humble. There are so many more things, of course, that we don't know than that we do. And I'm just administratively stunted. I'm operationally and organizationally stunted. But what I hope to impress upon you is that, we're competent crypto users. We're safe, competent crypto users. We've been doing this for a long time. And even us, we make mistakes. So do not let your thinking everything, your familiarity with it, that's where all the mistakes happen. And it goes back to the bigger conversation about why DeFi. Dude, more and more, I find myself moving away, giving up custody of stuff, or just giving up motility of stuff. Because honestly, if I had that on Coinbase to begin with, I never would have encountered that problem.
Security
and
privacy.
Which I hate to say, but that's what it comes to. I get it.
Nothing kills security and privacy more aggressively, more quickly, and more completely than convenience.
And privacy is a big thing. It's a big application of crypto. Crypto can bring a lot more privacy, permission, freedom to the information that represents our money, but we got to know how to use it. It's got to be standardized or simple. You know what? What are you going to say?
Just wanted to give some flowers and a shout out to Maiden for connecting Circle. Circle and Maiden connected. USDCX is either going to be or is now. I have to look at the tweet again from Azim. Live on Maiden with full privacy enabled, which I very badly want to talk to him about and get more details on because it's impressive.
USDCX.
Yeah, okay. It's Azim's most recent quote tweet. There it is. Yep.
USDC-backed stablecoin issued by Maiden via Circle X Reserve. So it is as good as USDC, but because it's being issued, but because it's being issued in the form of Maiden's wrapper on their network, it is private by default.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
It's wrapped in their privacy layer.
I like that a lot. We got a lot of questions coming in, Alex, and I would love to take some of them, but can I defer one to you so that I can pour myself a much needed drink?
Yes.
Okay. The first one I see after this comment that says, not the best bestie to sit back and watch the movie Hope Floats. Mask is a turnoff. Sorry, Will. We love you. Thanks, Bucko. Christopher Austin wants to know, Alex, should I have my crypto in cold storage? Yeah. Tell him, and I'll be right back.
Yeah. Great question. It's a nuanced answer, genuinely. In my humble opinion, take it or leave it. This is me, a guy on the internet, so do what you will with it. Maybe. I do not believe that there is a one size fits all wrapper on anything in finance that fits guaranteed to be the best option for everybody. Cold storage is no exception. So I believe that it is a goal that is a good one to have for everybody. That would be as far as I would take it, as far as being a generalist is concerned. Cold storage is the skill of self-custody, true self-custody. So you need to understand what the full breadth of that responsibility is. Because at the time that you opt into full self-custody, you give up a number of conveniences. Mostly any sort of like forgot password option, customer service, any of all this kind of stuff. It's basically saying like, hey, I don't want anyone else to have this. I would like to be solely responsible for its safety, for its security, for its custody. So if you're cool with that, if you know what you're doing, if you've practiced, if you've learned the skill of self-custody, absolutely, I would say cold storage is a good option. I use it frequently and regularly, constantly. I do not keep everything I own in cold storage because I don't want to. I would agree with Sam in the comments, who says most people should just keep their funds on Coinbase. We can go back and forth about your favorite exchange. They are not my favorite, but they are a humongous and fine option for many people. It's not something that I think you should rush into. I would say if you feel panicked about it, if like people are trying to make you feel like it's now or never, you need to get everything you own into cold storage as soon as humanly possible. I promise you that whoever is saying that to you is not keeping everything that they own in cold storage. I promise you. I would bet a significant amount of money that is the case. And if they say otherwise, they are lying to you. It's a good skill, but it requires practice and you got to be careful about it. So yeah. And again, to echo Sam here, another great point. Companies like Coinbase, like Kraken, they spend millions of dollars on their security. The reputation of their company rests on them keeping your stuff safe. So it's fine. Disco Superfly, my favorite, is and has been for as long as I've been here using them, Kraken. But yeah, no. It's a good skill. I think everybody should practice it. I think you should learn it. I think you should learn it even if you don't want to use it. That doesn't mean that you have to transfer your net worth and your life savings into cold storage. But one of those things that will just like make you a more safe, more secure, more confident crypto user is learning how to self-custody stuff. And it's as simple as that. Don't rush into it. Don't panic. If you're going to do it, this is another great example. Test transactions are your friend. Jump into the Rise Up Circle. We'll happily walk you through it. Don't ever send the seed phrase to anybody. The good disclaimers are things like nobody legitimate will ever ask you for the seed phrase. The company who owns or manufactures the wallet you choose to use will never reach out to you. You use an Arculus. Arculus is never going to reach out to me like, hey, there was some weird stuff going on. We need to confirm that your seed phrase is safe. Can you send it over? Never going to happen. Anybody asking for it is lying. All that good stuff. But yeah, just moral of the story: don't rush into it. But it's a good skill to have.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight these comments that say Coinbase, a centralized exchange, Robinhood, Webull, I mean, you name it. If it's a legitimate company, it is fine, but all of them have trade-offs. Caleb and Brown, that 3.5% fee per trade and the $500 trade minimum is going to be an obstacle for some people. Mm-hmm. But for some people, that is a steal of a deal to have a broker that you know personally and can call anytime. The important thing is to make an informed decision and not let somebody, like Alex said, bully you into picking a decision that they think works, because they don't know you. They don't know you. And that's why we want you to come to, it doesn't have to be our community, but it should be a room of crypto users who are a little more experienced than you, who are not going to sell you some junky token, and will honestly help you evaluate, like, what is your skill set? What are the options? And what seems like the best fit? A lot of people are better served by a centralized exchange. A lot of people, they won't settle for anything less.
For the record,
self-custody.
I use all three options every single day. I have some crypto that lives on a centralized exchange. It lives on Kraken because I have like a revolving door of on and off ramp there if I need it. I also get paid for a lot of my work in stablecoin. So I use a hot wallet routinely, which is, it is self-custody. But some of them have different features that you can opt into for, password and phrase backup if you want to. So there's a whole range of options there. It's a huge spectrum. And then I keep some stuff like Bitcoin that I have no interest in selling as far into the future as I can predict. It lives on cold storage. Yeah. And it's been the same wallet for the last 6 years. And
to Sam's point, centralized exchanges, they get a lot of hate, but they spend hundreds of millions of dollars to secure their customers' assets. Coinbase is the world's largest custodian of Bitcoin. They don't do anything with. Oh,
yeah, no. You're right. I'm saying like BlackRock keeps its Bitcoin with Coinbase custody for the ETF.
Almost all of the ETF issuers do.
Almost
and
all
they,
of them, yeah.
They don't do anything with it. They're not loaning it out. They're not, you know what I mean? They have real strict, very transparent, and it's in their best interest to follow those rules, because if they were to do something dirty on the side, it would jeopardize their entire business.
Oh, the whole thing. It's a publicly traded company. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not going to screw around. Huh. I'd love to hear.
I guarantee, I've never thought about this specifically, but I'm sure there are people at exchanges like Coinbase, like Kraken, who like their job is custody management, wallet management. Because it's not like, there is one vault at Coinbase headquarters with one ledger in it that has all of the, all the stuff. They have like gajillions of wallets. Like this stuff is spread out all over the place. I can't even fathom what the like key management must look like to protect all that kind of stuff, because they have oh my God. I mean, like that's gotta be one of the most like sought after targets to hack and exploit.
100%.
Like in the entire industry. So I bet it would be a really interesting thing to connect with someone at an exchange that works like specifically in custody. Yeah. And granted, I don't expect them to give me all of the sauce, but like some insights into like how that all gets managed, because I'm sure it's intense.
Well, and dude, they're missing some like there are some narrow misses there. I'm not talking about Coinbase specifically, but the crypto industry as a whole, even the institutional players, are under threat from like North Korean agents hiring them sometimes. They're huge honeypots. And we've actually got some good questions to follow up on this. Highlighting a comment, Satoshi Nakamoto, friend of the show, thank you for your service, says something good to practice are the skills to use crypto well. I always say when somebody says, hey, should I buy crypto? I say, that depends. Do you know how to buy it, how to sell it, how to store it securely, how to send it, how to receive it, how to turn it back into cash? If the answer to those questions is no, then it doesn't matter what you invest in crypto. It's a liability until you know how to use it well.
That's a good way to say it.
And so here comes a question from Narrowpathic, friend of the show, good to see you, who wants to know about tokenized stocks. Now that we have tokenized stocks, there is hypothetically the ability to take custody of your tokenized stocks. And she wants to know, is that better from an ownership perspective? Mm-hmm. And I want to know what you think about this, Alex, but I still feel like the tokenized stock space is... Yeah. You see where I'm going with this? Like I have more confidence in the financial instrument that is a stock issued by, I don't know, whoever issues these stocks, held at Fidelity or Robinhood, or even a tokenized stock on Coinbase, than I do with a lot of like truly decentralized tokenized stocks like on Uniswap. Yeah. That's where I would go. Yeah. Because that's like a guy who owns a bunch of the stock, or if it's a pre-market stock, like a private stock. You remember when they started, who was it who started offering like SpaceX or something else, Tesla? That's right. And they were like, guys, these stocks haven't even IPO'd yet. You can buy them here. That means they have a guy who's on the inside, has an allocation, and may or may not have vested it. Like it may or may not.
It doesn't even mean that. It could be straight horseshit you don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though, is it's like a guy who says he has a thing that he's willing to create a token for in order to sell it to you. So if you care about owning the underlying asset, self-custody seems like the way, but the only kinds of tokens that represent stocks that you can self-custody that I'm aware of at this moment in time are not, to me, as legitimate as like the tokenized stocks you'd get on Coinbase or Kraken.
Yeah, you agree? I actually do have a specific answer for the stock question as it stands right now. Again, my disclaimer here is that I'm a guy on the internet. This is my opinion. It's worth exactly as much as you think it's worth. No, like hard no for me. I'm not interested in trying to self-custody my tokenized stocks at this point. And I'll tell you exactly why. There is a massive legal canyon right now, legislatively around the world with the RWA stuff between the token and the asset that they claim to represent. Evan right now could literally launch a token on Pump Fun and pass it off to someone unsuspecting as a tokenized version of a stock if he wanted to. there are some nuances there with like, price being pegged to the specific price of a stock. It's very easy to mimic that if you wanted to make it look like, yeah, this thing is trading at the same price that shares of Apple are trading. Doesn't mean shit. Anybody can spin one up. There are very few limits placed on who can tokenize what and what they can do with it and what they can say about the token that they've created. There's a big difference between like the kind of heinous malice that I'm describing right now and like Kraken offering you a tokenized stock on their platform. But my point is that I'm keeping that stuff on the platform where I'm buying them from until we get a little bit farther along. This would be a thing, for the record, that would be really cool if it was included in Clarity, and it's not. And I know because I read 1,600 pages of Clarity drafts over the past year. So effectively right now, there are very few examples worldwide of a government recognized legal framework that ties the token created to represent a real world asset and the asset itself.
Right.
And
like Sam was saying about real estate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sam, we were going back and forth a little bit there, and like, correct, you can absolutely tokenize a house, but try taking that shit to court and tell me how that holds up, because there is no precedent. There are no laws on any books anywhere that like say that the token is the same thing as all the paperwork and all the people that are involved. And until we get some sort, that is a thing that you need like a legal framework on. So my personal answer is no. I hold some. I've bought them on Kraken and they are staying right there. I'm not interested in I don't even know if you can withdraw them, to be very honest. That one specifically. There are other versions that obviously, like Backpacks was different, but there was actually a pretty decent sized warning and a really interesting kind of back and forth on Twitter when this stuff kind of first started getting off the ground, wherein people from some of these companies that are not publicly traded, the one that I saw was from Anthropic, which is not a publicly traded company, yet you could buy tokenized stock and shares of Anthropic on some exchanges and some, crypto platforms. And they were just like, hey, this is like really illegal. Don't recommend messing with it because if someone gets in trouble for it, guess what? What the token you hold was effectively worthless. So you're just getting scammed.
So we had a question in the comments from Lady Longterm asking about Sesto.
Yep.
We had Sesto on the show the other day, and Sesto, if you missed it, there's a link in bio to check this out. It is a very cool consumer-oriented product that clearly shares different kinds of like product baskets that you can invest in, like
token and tokenized stock alike. Yes.
Token and tokenized stock. And one of our questions or concerns for like, before we get Jason back on the show, I have tasked Matthew, research analyst and intern extraordinaire, with figuring out like, what is the mechanism by which they are tokenizing the things here that are stocks, that are ETFs, because everything is on chain. It is self-custody. They have some really cool semi-custodial solutions, but I don't know, for example, like what is this vehicle? Can I see where the risk is coming from? How much liquidity is there? What is the mechanism tying, if it's a stock, the stock to the, you see what I'm saying? It looks like they're priced based on an oracle. So like maybe they're using some kind of token underneath. And I mean, these things are cool, but Matthew, when he was talking to me about the need to do some homework on this, was like, what about, it makes me think of DeFi Carrot. Super elegant solution that we loved, but that was because of its infrastructure tied to somebody that took a hit and took them down with them through absolutely no fault of their own. That kind of thing happens all the time in consumer crypto and DeFi. So good question. We will let you know as we find out more, but for now, check it out. And maybe you can tell us. We would love to know that. Alex, there was another question and we went right past it. I can't remember if it was Neuropathic or Alina, maybe, who was asking about, it was Alina, and she was asking about staking. This is another good question.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is it better to stake on Coinbase, on their wallet, or somewhere else? And this is another great place for nuance to flourish, because it really depends, doesn't it?
Yeah, I won't repeat the whole thing because a lot of it is the same as my answer to cold storage. It can be and it cannot be. So I would say that the most important thing is for you to recognize what the difference is between the two. If you're doing it on Coinbase, you are not staking anything, just to be abundantly clear. They're doing something, whether it's staking or not. Coinbase, the platform, is paying you a yield to allow your crypto to be used for something else, whether it's just locked there that they can confirm you're not going to withdraw it and it gets to live there for a while for whatever the term that you're going to do it is. And most of them at this point have like an instant unlock. It's a single day process to unbond and withdraw if you want to. If you're doing it yourself, you oftentimes are either native or liquidly staking the thing, in which case, great, you're in the self-custody bucket again, wherein like you have more responsibility. The thing that you give up, in addition to the security of your own custody, that being afforded to you through a Coinbase thing, is usually in the yield. So, for example, if Coinbase is offering you, or Kraken or whoever is offering you like 3.5% on your Solana to stake it with them, Jito is going to offer you 5.7% to stake it through them as the service provider. Through Jito, they are not custodying the Solana. They don't take it from you. You don't send it to them or anything like that. You commit it on chain to be used in the consensus mechanism for Solana, and in return, they give you the Jito Sol token, and then you can do other things with it, whatever. That's a separate conversation. But it's one of those things. Sure, it's not a bad option. It can be great. Two things to be aware of. One, like I said, the yield could be lower, and that's because they take a cut. And two, just recognize that they will pay you your interest in a lot of individual transactions, like it could potentially even one every single day. And when it comes time for tax time, if you use a software like any of them, like Awaken, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another, Coinly, Cointrack, like any of those kind of crypto tax software platforms where you can, put in a bunch of transactions and it will help do the calculations for you. You often get charged by transaction. And something that like got my mom tripped up this year is that she was catching up on a lot of like old transactions that were on her Coinbase and her Kraken from getting reward payouts, some of which were getting paid out on dust that was automatically staked on the platform. And as a result, she had thousands of transactions over a number of years that then she had to pay for individually to be cataloged and indexed on the tax platform. So just be aware that that is another thing that you will have to do. Technically, if you were going to do it by yourself anyway, there are ways to mitigate that and save yourself a tax headache if you were to stake by yourself, like in your hot wallet. And if there's we could go into that. There's a lot more information and nuance to that whole thing, but we're kind of getting in the weeds here.
Yeah, and the other kind of important consideration, and it's okay to get in the weeds. I really love this comment that says, "I have learned so much today from you two. Thank you very much. You're welcome." We're here. That's what we're here for. And let me say quickly, because I'll go into this a little more. We're live 4 days a week for the Rise Up Morning Show, Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. We are live every week for Rise Up After Dark, where you happen to be right now.
We'll be back in 10 hours.
We'll be back in 10 hours for the final morning show of the week. We have an after show every week, which is like a Google Meet call. You can come up on stage with us in the Rise Up community tomorrow. We have trust issues. We have Market Watch, our weekly shows about macro and policy, politics, and crypto, respectively. But the place to go to get the show schedule, get everything, it's the link in bio, where you are, wherever you listen. RUMS, RUMS, HQ.com. It's got the link to join the free community. It's got the link to premium. It's got the show schedule. It's got all the affiliate. It's got everything. The only thing missing is you. I say it. It sounds so cheesy, but I say it that way because it's true. Okay? Indulge me. The other consideration about staking that I think is important is that staking is a novel mechanism, a crypto native, meaning only possible in the medium of cryptocurrency way, to align the incentives between the people whose computers give life to the blockchain by maintaining the record of transactions, by validating them, by seeing if they're legitimate, by building consensus with each other, and the users like you and me. They make an asset like ETH or Solana or Bitcoin sufficiently decentralized. And I know, don't come at me, Bitcoin is not a proof of stake asset. I'm just talking generally about decentralized networks that people can validate. Staking specifically, though, allows us all to align around allocating tokens toward doing the job of securing the network. We can go deeper. But what you should know is that just like giving your voting power to a representative in a Congress, when Coinbase, who is on the front page of the internet and has a lot of power to reach out to a lot of people and creates an enticing offer to say, hey, you want to earn some passive income on your crypto? When that exists, a lot of people will choose to stake their assets with Coinbase, and Coinbase runs their own validators. And much like your representative in Congress, who is supposed to represent you, but has their own interests, which are not necessarily aligned with yours.
Yeah, legally.
Coinbase can do pretty much whatever they want with the power you give them to make changes, to vote, to take over the network. Not that I am concerned about them doing that, but you should be aware that when you choose to stake with Coinbase, it's kind of like choosing to use Google to search the internet. They're probably collecting a ton of data about you, right? Coinbase is using your staked ETH to have their own interests be heard, amplified, and taken seriously.
Well, they also make money off of it.
They also make money off it, a tremendous amount of money on it. The fees are incredible.
Metric
and
shitload.
They do not pass as much of that off to you. If you care about decentralization, meaning all of us have an equal voice and say, censorship resistance, privacy, freedom, then one of the most important things you can do as a citizen of a cryptocurrency network is take custody of your assets and choose to stake some of them with a validator yourself, who is like a small business. It's like supporting a small business, or even to run a validator yourself.
But honestly, I would say that even if the only thing you were interested in was like raw yield and the most like financially beneficial model for you, this is a really good time to learn the difference between self-custody and not self-custody, and then choose deliberately like what kinds of assets you opt in for that. Because like, for example, Kraken, the exchange that I use, does have, not sponsored yet, hoping for it. They have, you know, like a yield that they will pay you for your Solana if you want to, for your Avalanche, for your Atom if you still are holding on to the Cosmos train for some reason. That's another tangent. Whatever. If they offer a yield for it, you can earn it there. The highest yield on anything worth your time that they offer is on USDC and cash balances. So something that might make more sense is to hold USDC or a cash balance on the exchange, use that for your on or off ramp kind of pile, earn the better interest there. And then instead of, you know, setting yourself up to get a bunch more transactions for tax time, a smaller yield than you deserve for the work that you're doing, or the risk that you're taking, the capital that you're lending, or, you know, committing to this, sorry, not obligating, then you would like withdraw the ETH and hold that in your own hot wallet, or withdraw the Solana and hold it in your own hot wallet and go stake it somewhere else where you're in control of it with a service provider that you like and trust. We know a ton of them. Earning a higher interest, earning more money for your money, and then doing all the things, you know, tangentially that Evan was just talking about with regards to governance and voting and all that stuff.
I am asking Claude to work on a graphic that explains like the different types of staking and some visual stuff too. So stay tuned for that. I'll post it in the community, but Neuropathic is just killing it with the follow-up questions. I'd like to answer at least one more. And then Alex, my phone is going to die in probably 20 minutes. So we should start thinking about final thoughts, last questions, that kind of thing. Make sure you get into the community if you're not there. We'll pick it back up in the morning. That's exactly right. This is exactly the kind of conversation we have. She asked about, insurance. Neuropathic, am I misgendering you? Let me know. There are crypto insurance options. They are limited. They are increasing. For example, we are incubating a startup at Super Team currently called Reamplify. I'd like to get them to do a rebrand that is working to bridge two disparate markets. AI, obviously one of the biggest infrastructure booms ever. And it's difficult to insure AI because GPUs are very valuable, but they depreciate quickly and unpredictably. And as you might imagine, this is an emergent area. There are not a lot of companies that are qualified to offer insurance on GPU depreciation. They just don't understand it yet. It's not very affordable for the AI companies that need it. And these guys, they're insurance pros, they're crypto natives. And they said, where is a bunch of capital that would like to be more productive? Bitcoin. So what they do is they look for people who have a lot of Bitcoin. It could be individuals, it could be institutions. And they say, would you like to earn a better than average market yield for insuring something that is not particularly risky because it's growing, because there's not a lot of defaulting, because these are major companies? And who doesn't want to earn more than 3% on their Bitcoin. They're able to offer, 6+%. They project. They don't really exist at scale yet, to make this Bitcoin productive as the underwriting collateral for these insurance claims. It's just such a great double-sided solution. So stuff like that exists or will exist more in the future. But the leader in the decentralized insurance space, like if you want to take out risk insurance on a DeFi position or something like that, would be Nexus Mutual. And
it's been the only name I know in the game for years.
Yeah. Same. There are others that come and go that I have seen who do stuff. Bridge is another one. Bridge whatever. There will be more.
Compelling commercial. Bridge something whatever.
Not sponsored by Bridge, but it should be. Listen, man, it's the After Dark show. I have a drink here.
Sorry, Bridge whatever.
That is vodka, pickle juice, cucumbers, apple cider vinegar, and elderflower, and a little bit of ginger ale. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I've also got some cucumber garnish in there and a little mint. But that's what happens.
All right, dude.
Listen, man, I went through it with Coinbase today. I did the pickle juice for the electrolytes because I'm still
different strokes for different folks or something.
So if you're interested in that, though, Neuropathic, yes, we can do it. It is not so simple as, I'd like to take out some insurance on my crypto. Honestly, good luck. But if you're curious and passionate about it, it's something you can and should learn about. It's a conversation worth joining, and we can introduce you to the people who are literally, building it right now.
This is one of those times
they would be thrilled to talk to you.
I'm going to capitalize on the opportunity to say that one of the more common, misrepresented things that I see inside of crypto all over the place is crypto balances that are insured by the FDIC. That's not real. It doesn't exist. Cash balances on some exchange accounts up to a certain amount can be insured by the FDIC, depending on a whole bunch of different things. But the thing that you should be worried about happening to your money if it's on a centralized exchange is specifically not covered by the FDIC insurance policy. So 2 PSAs. Read the terms and conditions of an FDIC insurance policy, because you'll be amazed at what it doesn't cover, like hacks or fraud or scams. Not interested in that. It's all about insolvency to protect the consumer from a specific business failure, except for a hack. That doesn't count. It's like traditional insurance, right? Think about it that way. It's like when you really need it, they're going to find a way to get out of it, because that's not the point. The point is to take money from you forever until you die. But also FDIC does not insure crypto. Correct. So if you're holding your Harry Potter Obama Sonic Inu on a centralized exchange, the FDIC does not cover that.
Alex, do you know why they don't cover it?
I'm trying to figure out which sound you're about to push.
Because they don't fucking have to.
That's it. Yep.
These pests.
We're going to have a greatest hits episode when we go off the air at the end of month for a week, introducing you to some of the stories behind some of the great sounds that we love. But first, I have to show you this. This is a one-shot prompt. I will absolutely work on this to make it better. We had a great session with Peyton today, who was talking about, how much taste can be curated through hard, thoughtful work when you're dealing
shout
with
out
LLM.
Claude Design, though, because for a one-shot I'm blown away by how good what I'm getting out of one-shot prompts for graphics and design related things for a slideshow or PDF or something.
Yeah, so it's tough to see. I will workshop it a little bit, but I've asked it to do a comparison between you're staking on Coinbase, you're staking from a self-custody wallet, you're doing home staking with something like Rocket Pool, or you're running your own validator, and it compares on the Ethereum network and the Solana network, probably the two most prominent venues for meaningful economic activity generated from staking. And it compares them in terms of how low is the barrier to entry? How cheap is it? What's the fee drag on rewards? How easy is it to set up? How fast is it to get out? How much freedom do you get from it? And it's got just some little commentary. And I made this from our Rise Up design file. We are over time really working to try and curate how our Claude specifically system knows us, our voices, our thought process. And, it requires a lot of work still, but it's exciting to see the directions that it's even still, it's iterating on this thing.
No, mine is getting really good. At this point, I've uploaded several hundred pages of my chicken scratch notes, and it's mostly reading my handwriting, to get a bunch of stuff about, the information, the things that I want. A lot of these PDFs that I've created using, various AI tools. More recently, Claude Design has been like that. But same thing. Throw a couple brand kit things and a couple of our other graphics from years past in there, and have it reference it. It's really cool.
Yeah, we got to keep working on it. And we definitely are going to have Peyton on the show soon.
Hell yeah.
Founder of Wolves DAO, and now has really gone deep down the AI rabbit hole. A lot of people have asked us for more level 2 content about how to start integrating these things into custom workflows. And the stuff he was showing us today is totally the bleeding edge. It's proprietary. It is not the kind of thing that GPT or Claude or other LLMs are well suited. It is a combination of many different AI tools in order that you can build your own solutions.
It's a deep cut when every single product that he was showing us is just a series of letters that don't look like they belong together.
Yeah, dude. And shout out to Tori. Tori's got to get a couple of points. She's already on the board, but I got to give her some more for being so cool. He was saying about Tori, he said, Tori, you're really quite far along on this. You're ahead of honestly 90% of all people.
Why isn't that the commercial for premium? Hey, subscribe to premium so that we can afford to pay Tori what she's worth, because goddamn.
Yeah. I would like to pay Tori more.
Yeah.
I would like to pay everyone more. I'd like everybody to buy all their groceries, and I would like to get insurance for Rise Up, maybe a little 401k action with some Bitcoin ETFs. We're working on
What Evan means is it would be really cool if we got paid for our work. We're getting there someday.
Listen, man, we get paid. Just,
The only thing that I can give Peyton any grief about is that he did join the Navy.
He did join the Navy, didn't he?
Yeah, him and Steckler.
Oh man, Steckler.
Not ideal.
Listen, if you want to hang out with us, you want to hang out with Peyton, you want to hang out with Sivish, who has it right in the comments. He says this is why Evan could never be a billionaire. Hang out with Carol, who says dings for Claude. Then please do jump into the community. It's the link in bio wherever you are, whenever you listen. Just remember rumshq.com. It's got the free trial for premium. It's got the free community. It's got the links for Caleb and Brown. Thank you, Jim. Thanks, Caleb and Brown, for being here, making time for us. All the partners of the show, everything is there. That's the best way to connect with us. And we would love to see you back on a live show again. This is a really good conversation.
Hell yeah.
Alex, I'm going to come to you for a final thought.
Okay.
And I'm going to invite everyone at home to leave their thoughts before we ride our dogs and ponies into a little point tallying. You thought I forgot, but I sure haven't. So make it good. Or you want me to give some points first? I usually give points before final thoughts because I don't want anybody to steal the show, the contest.
Yeah, anything to make sure that I can't accidentally earn any last minute points that you could be compelled to give me.
Yeah. Well, in that case, the points as they stand.
I rest my case.
I rest my case. You should have taken out that DeFi insurance. Okay, let me just make sure I've got this right. In last place with one. I told you it's going to 0. I don't even remember the context for that. Can you believe it?
No clue.
Yeah, absolutely no clue. 1 point on the board for lots of different people. We've got Australia, we've got Mahir, we've got Privy, we've got Uncles asking about crypto, we've got Ryan Lucero, we've got Radio Dan, shout out. We have got The Beacon, baby. We have got, also tied for last place with 1 Gwump. Hide the drugs. On the board, Maiden, Arculus, Jito, Satrush, Copy Trading Doug. Could be the move.
I am a big fan of this.
We have got test transactions spending $600 on swords, and that means now we're in the top 5. In 4th place with 3 points, it's Tori. Thank you very much, Tori. Congratulations. Excuse me. I want myself. Back it up.
Wow,
actually, sharing 3rd place with Tori because she is in fact with someone else in 3rd place. This person had 4 points and 1 Gwump, tied with Tori, who had 3 points. You gotta give it up for Alex.
You're a loser.
I'll play again next time. I don't know who said that. Tied for no, all alone in third place, 4 points clean. We've got Jim, guest from Caleb and Brown. Second place, we have a tie with 5 points each. It's me and my good friend, Mr. William Watson, which means your winner tonight with 10 points, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the man, the myth, the legend who got us our money back. I'm talking about Mike.
Well deserved.
Mike.eth.
He's the only thing holding that company together, I tell you.
The founder of LogaDog, the hot dog eating sensation that's sweeping the nation. Check it out at logadog.xyz, and an engineer over at Coinbase doing God's work. Can't wait to have him back on the show.
You know, the first thing that he and I ever spoke about was him facilitating a $5,000 donation to Lovable Paws.
He's such a G.
Yep. That was years ago.
Finally found a Bruce equivalent, said Seavish. I don't know.
Donated on Ethereum.
You know. Yeah. The fees were probably exorbitant.
Oh my God. Dude, this was like 4 or 5 years ago.
He paid $4,000 to donate $5,000 at the peak of the bull run.
Pretty much.
I don't know, man. I think my favorite moment from tonight was when Will said $4, or you said $4, and just seeing how tickled you got. We're going to need a clip of that. Please and thank you very much. Alex, have you got a final thought for everybody before we get the heck out of here?
Yeah.
This is a great show. I'm going to finish this drink, man. I can't be drinking before bed. Okay.
To think out in the TikTok comments said, having too many questions here, ran out of time. I work full time. Completely understand.
Yep.
It is very easy. It's very easy to miss these, and people got shit to do. But that doesn't mean that you can't get your questions answered. So I will give a plug for community.rumshq.com, and you can send all your questions in one big message there. Just bullet point them, question, bullet point, question, bullet point, question. You can send them for free. I will answer every single one of them.
Not if I get there first.
We will answer every single one of them.
We will compete to answer your questions.
No, if it's a competition, I'm going to win.
Better hope they don't leave their questions on the top shelf, Alex.
Listen.
He's not that short, you guys. He's really not that short.
Are we out of time? Isn't the show over? I got to go to bed.
Me too. I appreciate you, Alex. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for not leaving me. Will, thank you. Tori, everybody, Seavish. We're going to see you tomorrow. We'll be back for more Rise Up, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then we've got the after show. So head over to community.rumshq, or just, it's the link in bio, people. Tap the link in bio right there at the top. I will answer all the XRP questions. And Cody's got you a step
sarcastically.
Short. Okay, all right, we got to go. Thank you, everybody, as always, for being the very best part of what we do. Until next time, my friends.